Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to listeners. Welcome to another edition of the England Roger Sports Hour on Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. And again, Roger, another busy week. It's out there in sports. I don't even want to talk about our crazy weather, which we always start with them telling people how it's like in Toronto. But the good
Yeah,
thing about it that I'm happy with is that we haven't had too much snow.
we've had, well, it depends on where you live, but I've had none, but I've seen a few places that have had some, and I'm telling you, they've predicted that it's going to be a fairly warm winter. And so
Yeah,
far, so good. I mean, it's like yesterday, it was like 10 or 12 or something like that. So
yeah, yeah.
it's not looking good in terms of sunshine outside, but it's not that cold.
Yeah, one of my friends actually said to me, he said, "You want to go to Park Show to play some golf?" I said, "You know what? I was pushing it a bit much too much,
Pushing it a
but
lot.
yeah,
Oh
yes,
boy.
yeah,
But no, it's good when you can have these. I mean, for to be fair, you have some people that love the winter sports and all of that, and they're not happy right now. So, for them, I'm really feeling bad. But in general, the weather is not too bad at all.
yeah. It's not too bad, and enjoy it while we can. As you said, it's supposed to be a mild winter,
That's
so
what they say.
let,
That's what they
let's
say.
let's
I
hope.
don't trust that weatherman, right? So I don't
I
know, but
don't trust.
but let's see how it goes. I'm actually optimistic that it's good enough where we get a mixture of snow, cold, and but more warmth than normal.
Yeah, definitely more warmth than normal, and a lot to chat about this week again. I think we got some golf. We got the NBA in season. I think we spoke about the finals was coming up last week
Yes, I did.
when we yeah. So we can talk about that. We're gonna talk track and field, some cricket as usual, and
Yeah, cricket, lovely cricket.
yeah, there's so much cricket going on, and West Indian fans are smiling. So
You
you
know
know,
what? Let's be optimistic this time.
let's be.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned earlier on, and I think if there's an opportunity for them to put a smile on our face, it's this time. So far, they're living up to their expectations.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well. So we'll talk about that a little later. But we can start with the in-season, the
NBA?
in-season NBA. LeBron, another championship. His
Yeah,
teammates working away with a cool 500,000.
each player getting 500,000, and you know what?
Yeah,
I must say that it was expected. I don't think it was a surprise. They won convincingly. They were definitely the better team. I mean, everyone, in my personal opinion, I was surprised that Indiana got there in the first place. I
right.
don't think they were a match for the Lakers, and it showed up. And when the time comes for the big guys to show up, they did. Antonio
Yeah,
Davis was awesome.
yeah, they did. And LeBron himself coming away with the MVP for that tournament.
Yes, he did. He did.
Yeah, so he's still at the old ripe age of 37, or the
He's
young age.
I know he's going very strong. I give him a lot of. He keeps his body in great shape. He's committed to his craft, and he has evolved into a really truly superhuman, in my opinion. I mean, to play at this level at this age for so and play for so long that good, it's really unheard of. There's really been very little drop in what he has done since he started. He's just playing a little less now, but yeah, in general, his quality is still very high.
Yeah, it's true. And sometimes when I hear them say if someone is 30 or 32 and they said he's old, I mean, like I think that's a youngster. And but you hear sometimes I hear my little nephew and nieces talking, and they're like, I think one of the moms said something to him about a player is somebody. I think someone had passed away, and she said, "So young at 34," and the kid said, "Young, that's an old person."
you know,
So I think back in the day when we were younger, we used to think that
there
way
you
too.
go. There you go. Because when we were growing up and we talk about sports, it's people in their late teens, early 20s. After you pass 30, you're supposedly going downhill.
Yeah,
So everybody sees you after you pass 30 as being old. It stretched a little further now, so like 35, 36. But then after that, it's like, oh, what are you doing here? You should not be here. You're an old man. Even Messi, look at Messi. I think he's only 36,
yeah,
going to 30. And he's like, oh, I don't think I'm even going to play the next World Cup because I'm going to be too old. And he's going to be like 40.
Yeah,
right? So it's different now. But in terms of living ages, yeah, if you're in your 30s, you're a very young man.
yeah, you're young, and I mean, it's the only sport that I ever heard people thought about of being able to
Old.
start late was golf. Because people
Yeah,
said
yeah, yeah.
back
You're
those
allowed.
days, it said when you're 40, 50, you could start
That's
golf,
when
and
you can start golf. Yeah,
yeah,
no,
but
that is
now
so
that
true.
even that has changed now because it's a lot
Correct.
of younger players are
Younger
playing.
players are there now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot going on in the NBA as well. The in
Hmm.
season was fantastic to see, and it's a good introduction by the NBA to have that, and it went
Hmm.
really well. But I saw Draymond Green from the Golden State Warriors. I think he's losing his mind.
Yeah, he got suspended for
Indefinitely this time for
indefinite.
hitting.
Yeah,
He choked somebody. He's in a fight early season. Now he's hitting the Suns. Joseph Nurkic in his face, and I think people have just said enough is enough. Draymond Green, you need to take a break and find a chill pill or something. But something's going on with him.
yeah, something is definitely going on because it's not. Yeah, he's going through something. There's so many mental things with players now,
There's,
mental stress, whatever else. But
yeah,
yeah, it's
uh,
not normal. And
it's not normal. I mean, his coach is saying no. I think he needs help. So I
mm,
think he's at that point where he probably needs help. Kevin Durant, who had a big fight with him when he was playing for Golden State as well, also said the same thing. That what, I won't even talk about our clashes. He needs help. So something needs to happen, Draymond. Some intervention needs to happen because he's a good player and a good person for the team. But you don't want to see him suspended indefinitely. That's a big term. So
yeah, it's a big term. Yeah, because normally you hear it for a number of games, but
yeah, yeah,
definitely it's a lot. And talking about suspensions, Ja Morant, he's back on
he's
Tuesday.
back.
So
I know.
25,
So there's
25 game suspension.
a lot of media around him, coming back. So obviously this guy's a huge player to be. So I mean, 25 game, it's a lot of games. Don't joke around with that. And he said it
Yeah,
was very tough. He said he had some horrible days and he just want to get back to the court. So it's going to be interesting to see when he hits. I mean, he's going to have a lot of media around him to see how he's going to
oh yeah,
perform.
for
But
sure.
I think he'll do fine. I think he must. English, if he
Yes,
did not learn from 25 games, he's never going to learn. So
exactly, exactly. If he doesn't learn, then something's wrong. And
something's really wrong with him. Oh
Memphis
boy.
is looking to have him back in the lineup on Tuesday,
Oh, for
so
sure, for sure. I mean, he's a
they
massive
do need
player.
him.
So.
Yeah,
And another
and
thing in NBA before we go on is
mm,
these losing streak things. I think I'm like, what is going on here? In the East, you have Detroit. They've
Detroit, yeah,
they've gone 22 games without a
lose,
win.
yeah,
22. San Antonio was at 18. They were at 18, and I thought they were going to go 19 last night, but they found a
they
way to beat the
to beat
Lakers.
Lakers, yeah,
So to save them. But these are franchise records we're talking about here. 18 for San Antonio is just a big number. 22 for Detroit is just ridiculous. So I don't know
you're
what's going on. I mean, what do you do as a manager when your team has lost 22 games in a row?
no, it's something definitely wrong because you're right. They're 2-23 in the season, and it's
Yeah,
just not good. It's you lose in 20 in a straight, 20 plus straight. It's
it's
because
very.
obviously you can only say so much and do so much
I
because
know.
it's the players going out on the court. It's either that you're not getting through to them, you're not the right person, so
Yeah.
you probably start thinking, should I leave?
There you go. And I mean, one of the things I think one of the managers said was, "There's no fire in these people, so they're out there losing 20 games in a row,
Yeah,
and they should be angry." He said they should be angry when they
yeah,
step onto the courts to do something. We have to do something, but that fire is just not there.
it
And that's
is not
shocking
there.
in these nowadays sports because I cannot fathom in the early days you lose 20 games and you're not mad. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's different, so different these days in the basketball world. Well, not only in sports in general.
In sports in general, it is
Yeah,
totally different.
it
It
is.
is.
It is. It is.
Yeah. So after that, there's a lot of golf happening also, and
Yeah.
the family golf, I would like to call it, the PNC Championship.
Yeah.
It's off this morning, but there's some rain. But everyone was focusing on the Woods farm, and but it's not Woods. It's Kuchar.
Good. Yeah, I know.
Team Kuchar is stealing the show. They're at 11 under after 12.
I
So
know. I know.
yeah,
Off to a great start.
after a great start, Tiger and Tiger is there on 2 under, and he's playing with Justin Thomas with his dad, and
Yeah,
they're 3 under. So after six, and it's fun to watch because I think the kids, even leading up to it, watching the
yeah,
days of the practice, the kids just have so many youngsters interacting with Tiger, and Tiger
Tiger. Yeah.
showing, giving them some tips. So
He has
yeah,
matured well, I think, Tiger, in his role. I mean, he needs to win to solidify his greatness, but yeah, he has done really well in terms of his maturity and how he approaches his fans and the other young golfers. But yeah, right. Everybody thought with him and his son, who was getting a lot of hype, that
hmm
they would have been doing a lot more. But it's Kuchar and Omira.
yeah, it is. Yeah, actually, I was watching a clip where Annika Sorensen's son was talking to Tiger, and he said he feels so nervous on the first tee,
I
and
know.
Tiger says that's good because that means you care what happens.
There you go, and that's just
Yeah,
so true, so true.
yeah,
You gotta
I,
feel that nervous. When I do track and field, it's the same thing. You gotta have
yeah.
that nervous energy going into a race, man. You gotta have it.
You have to. I actually remember a manager asking me one day if I was nervous when I was going out to bat, and I said, "Yeah, a little bit." He
Yeah.
said, "Good." He said, "Good," because if you didn't, I wouldn't send you out. So I said, "Yeah." He said, "You have to be nervous. You
You
can't
have
be. If you're too
to,
relaxed, then
or
yeah,
overconfident, then you're gonna have a
overconfident.
problem out there.
Yeah,
That is so
well,
true.
it is. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on the PNC Championship. Just over 2 days, today and
Yeah,
tomorrow. And it's really a fun thing to watch if you get a chance to watch it. It's on Peacock right now if you get Peacock.
yeah,
But yeah, we'll keep an eye on see how that goes.
for sure, for sure.
You're listening to Love Bay Afrobeats Music Talk Radio's England Rogers Sports Hour, and we get out to some cricket, Roger, because a lot of cricket has been
I
happening.
know.
And
Before we go to cricket, though, I have a quick,
mhm,
quick question for you because in tennis, Bianca
mhm.
Andreescu, she, I,
She's not ready. She said, right?
I'm confused. I mean, she's great. She's a great player. She won the U.S. Open and all of that, and she's highly
hmm
ranked or was highly ranked. Why is she sick so often? I've never seen another top player who has so many injuries back to back to back every single year. Doesn't
Yeah,
she have a support team that I'm getting a little confused about this? It's like she must change something. Something needs to
something she has to change. Yeah, because it's if it's not her legs, it's her back
back.
injury. She said,
Like
yeah, she said it's a
something's not
neck,
right.
and
Something's not
yeah,
right here, man. I mean, I could see maybe a year. It's like 4 years now. The
it's going
same thing
on
every year.
every year. Yeah, it's you should have trainers who should have preventative injury, right?
You must at
Yeah,
her level, and I mean, she must.
yeah.
That's the part that is
So
confusing to me because I love her. It's like, why is she not being able to play so often? She plays a couple of games and then she's down again.
yeah, because she's one of the great players. She's one of the great players.
Exactly,
But
exactly. And she's from Mississauga, where you live, so I mean,
yeah,
I'm sure you want to see Mississauga do
yeah.
well. So
But she, as you said, I was surprised and disappointed when she announced that she's not going to be playing in the
yeah,
Australian Open.
I'm
And
sad. I'm sad.
yeah, yeah, it's sad to see that she's not going to be there. But
Yeah.
hopefully she can get it right. But she's not getting any younger, so
But there you go. You know, it's not
you
like
know,
she's getting younger; she's getting older. So this may
yeah.
get just worse and worse from here. So I'm concerned. I must say, I am concerned because I strongly believe she would have been winning way more majors at this age, not being sick all
Yes,
the time.
instead of just the one, she would have
Yeah,
had a few.
100%, 100%.
Mm,
Anyway, that's my pet. Well, not my pet peeve, but I mean my concern. My
That's
concern
the
for my
concern.
Canadian, for my
Uh,
concern, for my Canadian sister.
Yeah, and that's the Australian Open is next month. So if she's saying that now, she must know. It's
She
been a
must.
while though. It's been a while since
It's
that
been a
injury.
while. It's
Yeah,
been a while. It's been a while.
she
Oh,
said she's
oh,
not able to hit any balls, which is
mm,
really surprising.
surprising. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
why I'm so concerned. It's like, oh my God, what's going on? But we'll support her and hopefully she finds a way to turn this around and be healthy.
She said her back, according to her, her injury is the bone, so it takes a lot longer to heal. So
If it's a bone, it will take longer.
yeah, so hopefully there must be specialists who can do things.
There you
So
go. And at her level, she should not have a problem finding those specialists or even paying for them, in my opinion. But who am I?
yeah, true. It's
All right.
okay. Any other sport you want to touch on before we get into
Well,
some cricket and track and
there's so
field?
much cricket to talk about, so I think we gotta go there.
There's a lot of cricket to talk about, and I'm looking at it and wondering where do we start? But
You wanna start with
I
the good
guess
things? You wanna start with the
we
good
can
things?
start with the good things. Yeah, let's start with the good. So let's start with the West Indies and England series. And West Indies won the ODI series 2-3, 2-1. 2-1 was it? 2
Yes,
nothing.
two
2-1,
one,
sorry.
2-1, 2-1.
2-1.
Yeah,
I'm getting
yeah.
confused. They're up 2 nothing in the T20. Yeah.
T20, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean,
2
it's good to see. I mean, winning against England. I mean, although I think this is a weaker England team, but to see them win the ODI was like, okay, step in the right direction. Step in the right direction. So that was good.
I know you say it's a weaker in the England team, but I look at it as it's a rebuilding England team because that's their
Yeah.
choice to pick these
True,
players to leave out
true,
all these guys because
true.
England has said they don't have another ODI series until September. So I think sometimes some of these teams just underestimate the West Indies and say, "Hey, we can take
Look,
anybody and beat them."
beat them. Thank you, thank you. That's why
Yeah.
I'm glad that we. And it's the same thing I'm seeing for the T22. We need
Hmm.
to beat them. I mean, in my opinion, like we should go 5-0 on them in the T20. We need to beat them and tell them, don't you ever dare come to us again pretending as if we are nobodies. You know.
That's the thing, because I even saw, just to go up a bit, the West Indies is going to be touring Australia. And I saw a quote, I think it was from Ricky Ponting, is saying Australia need to start to look for a new opener and don't just pick someone who's going to stack up his average against West Indies. So
Yeah.
already he's already saying
Everybody-
like, well, you're not good enough. He said, think about England and India. So
Yeah.
they've dismissed the West Indies already, which is wrong.
It is wrong, but I mean, somewhat a little deserved or what West Indies
Hmm.
has done over the past few years. But they need to get back their respect. They
They
need to
do.
get that. Yeah, that's why I think, in my opinion, we need to beat them 5-0 in this T20. I mean, 4-1 I could live with, but not
Hmm.
even three, not even 3-2 is going to be good enough for me. It's either 4-1 or 5-0 for me. We have to crush them and
Totally agree.
make a statement. We have to make a
Totally
statement.
agree, and I think I'm off to a good start. And you know what? I believe it's a great team. The Andrew Russell fans were happy after the
He came
first.
back.
He came back, but after the second game, the ones who didn't want him there were saying things because he had a poor outing with the ball in
Yeah,
the second match. He went for 60 odd runs, I think
he
66
did.
or something like that.
He did.
Yeah,
He had a bad day. I mean,
yeah,
maybe
he
he was
did.
just overhyped from playing so good in the first one. I don't know.
Maybe
But
he was on the ground, but
yeah, yeah.
I think kudos in that second match to Brandon King for his innings. So that
He
82.
was just on fire. That young man, I tell you, man. I mean, weird enough, he said it was due to luck. I don't know why he would say that, but at the end of the
Yeah,
day, that innings was a really good innings that West Indies needed.
I
And he
wonder why he
54 for
said luck
four. Yeah, I wonder. Like, why
because
would you say it's luck?
and then Rodman Powell came in the captain and played a
Yeah,
great innings. I got 15, 28 balls, and
oh,
that was
yeah,
something to see. I mean, I know he's strong and he's got power, but one of my pet peeves, as you mentioned earlier
yeah.
about yours, one of mine with West Indies when watching West Indies, if an English player hits a six, they tell you how great and elegant the shot is. But when a West Indian, they
It's power.
use words of power and stuff. But
Yeah,
they don't talk about the elegance and the grace of these players. They
true,
like to say power because we're West Indians.
true,
So
true.
I think it's so wrong because I think Powell played some shots which pure timing
I
and
mean,
great.
exactly. They got to give
Yeah,
him credit where credit is due.
yeah.
He's a good
Yeah.
player, and I mean, I think he's actually a great captain. So I think it's interesting to see how he's gonna do for the rest of this. But I know he wants to win, and since he
Mhm.
has been captain, he has been winning. So I know he wants to win. So let's see if he can continue in this vein. And I think, honestly, I think he's gonna do something special again today.
I think so because you know what? He looks the part. He looks like he wants to be captain, and when he's captain, he actually his game improves. And there's some
Improves.
people like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's for me is awesome. I mean, a lot of captains go out there and then they take the captaincy on their head and then their performance goes down. I think Pooran is probably an example of that. But
Hmm.
Powell, I mean, you tell him he's the captain and his game lifts to another level.
A couple of things, as you mentioned, Puran, do you, he's not batting as responsible as I thought he would. He looks like he's saying, I don't know, I don't want to say he's out of sorts, but he just looks,
He's not there.
yeah, he just looks
I don't know.
Overconfidence, careless, something.
Careless is more, well, it could be overconfidence that leads to carelessness, but I honestly believe that he's not plugged in. And I'm a
He's
little
not.
surprised at that because, he's been all over the world and doing a lot of good stuff wherever he is. So I'm surprised
Mhm.
that he came here with this nonchalant, almost nonchalant attitude.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. And then the franchise cricket, they seem to put more into it than playing for the West Indies. And
Exactly, exactly, which is unfortunate. And then he's chosen not to take the West Indies retainer. So that means, what does that
yeah,
mean? Is he walking away and just doing his thing? I don't know.
he said he'll be available for all the West Indies T20s. So I guess he's chosen not to play anything but T20. Same as CARL Myers and Jason Holder.
Hold
Jason
on.
Holder is the biggest surprise. They are not
Shocking,
taking it. Shocking, yeah.
shocking,
I,
shocking, shocking.
I don't even know if he'll get an IPL contract.
Well,
Mm.
I doubt it, but I mean, who
But
am I? But yeah, it's like, what type of, who's guiding this guy?
yeah,
But anyway, we're talking about the great things about West Indies cricket right
great
now.
things,
They're
yes. And
winning. They're winning.
they're winning. And Kyle Mayer has actually been a good surprise for me. He's played well,
Yeah,
and
he's a
he,
tough cookie in my opinion.
yeah,
When he's out there, I mean, even if he doesn't perform well, he gives his all. You can see, you can almost feel it. He's
yeah.
giving his all when he's out there. So I appreciate that, and he's doing well here. So I'm happy for that.
Shimon Hetmeyer, is it a case of what, lack of confidence? He just doesn't know where he is right now because he's not batting well at all. And
He's out of sorts. Well, he's the one that I would say is out of sorts. I mean, he's probably not batting the number that he wants to bat. I think maybe he needs to bat at 7 or something. I don't know what's going on with him. But
yeah,
he has never struck me as somebody who is interested in being serious about his game. So I got to see more from him. Great talent,
hmm
but I just think the attitude doesn't match up with the talent right now.
for me, I would leave him out to today's game and play Rutherford, give him a chance to sit and watch.
I would probably do that too. I would
Yeah,
probably do that as well. Because I mean, if Russell has had not a bad day, then Rutherford could back him up.
yes, Rutherford. I think Russell is going to come back strong. I mean,
You will.
it's not my favorite pick, but when I look at the overall team of West Indies for Russell coming 7 or 8, it's just trying in the depth of this team.
Yes, team. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. They have batting all the way down to 8 for sure. And I mean, Russell is one of those things. It could even be like a more like a decoy. When he comes out there,
mm,
it gets the opposing team nervous. Is he gonna go off on me today? We got to make sure we do this, make sure we do that. So it may put them on a bit unbalanced, and that may be
mm,
helpful. So just having there sometimes, I think it's good, but he needs to perform. And so far, he had a good first game. Not so bad second game. He just had a bad game with the ball.
just bad ball. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so he's performing.
the fielding has been outstanding for West Indies, and let's hope it'll carry on that way. And
That's what I'm happy about Ingle. So
yeah,
that for me is the first sign that they're getting serious.
yeah,
I've always said, go back to Clive Lloyd's team and the professionalism and all of that you would see. Top notch feeling every single game. And if they can continue to do this top notch feeling every single game, trust me, Ingle, they're gonna start winning more games. More games.
yeah, that should. So today at 12:30, Grenada, the third game. Let's hope West Indies seal the series today and
They will.
continue with the 5-0 whitewash.
Yes, they will seal it today. I'm fairly
Yeah,
confident in that. It seems as if well, the captain is locked in, and I think most of the players are. And yeah, if Puran and Hetmeyer step up, then yeah, it's an easy win for us.
it should be an easy win. Yes, we'll keep you, well, we'll update next week for sure and
Yeah,
let you know what's happening. Now, the cricket news, quickly, the Ireland series with Zimbabwe. It's just one-sided after Zimbabwe won the first game.
I know.
Ireland came back, won the series 2-1. Then up 1-0 in the ODI series, and it just don't look like Zimbabwe will find a way.
It seems I don't know. I was a little surprised they lost out coming into the World Cup, and then now they are just on a downward spiral. I think losing can become addictive sometimes, which is
Yeah,
unfortunate. But I think they're just in a bad spot. A good team just in a bad spot, and they need leadership, in my opinion, to take them out of it.
yeah, they do need that leadership to get them out. And don't see it happening right now because
No.
the leader got in trouble.
There you go.
He's back. He's back, but still, it's not a good sign. It seems
Yeah.
like a frustrated team. They actually made
It's
7 changes
yeah.
for this tour, so it's not very good.
No.
But other matches ongoing, and this one is just totally one-sided. It's the Test match with Pakistan and Australia. And Australia, I mean, everybody was calling for David Warner's head, but he
A lot of
answered.
people were. I
Yeah,
mean, he had this guy saying all sorts of things about him.
yeah.
Why are they giving him all this stuff? But listen, the man is a champion, and he showed up why he's a champion and why he deserves
Mhm.
all the accolades he's getting.
Yeah, yeah.
164 is no sneeze, right?
No, it's no sneeze. I mean, but it shows the second inning shows cricket can be a quick level. Like you got a duck in the second
Basically,
inning, but
yeah, he gave it his all.
no.
He gave it
Mhm.
his all in the first innings. He
Yeah,
had to prove a point, and he did, and then that was it. He has nothing left.
it's very hard for batsmen to come back. But 487 was
It's
always going to be a lot for
very.
Pakistan to get. But Pakistan, on the other hand, dropped some simple catches, and you
There you
just
go.
wondered, you can't drop those catches and expect to keep the opponent
You,
down.
you can't win because like the what I just said about the West Indies. When I
Yeah,
see them feeling and doing really well in the field, you know that they're ready. They're locked in and ready to do something big. Those catches that I see, it's like Pakistan. Why are you here? Get serious
yeah.
about this game, please. Get serious.
Exactly. So Australia now holds a 300-run lead with
Yeah,
2 days to go. So it's the only one result I can see happening here. And 271 was never enough that Pakistan made.
yeah,
So Iman Ul Haq, the only person getting past 50 at 62.
yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, Nathan Lyon, though, he's on 499 test wickets.
He's right there to hit that 500 number.
Yeah. And the bookies and everybody are making their bets. Is it going to be Babar Azam for his 500?
Maybe
You
not,
know,
but who
who
knows?
who knows? That
Who
will be
knows?
one to remember if it is.
For sure, if it is, yeah, you say
Yeah.
your 500th wicket was Baba Azam, which is one of the top players in the world.
Can't remember which, if it's Glenn McGrath. I don't remember if it was his. I know one of his milestone wickets was Brian Lara.
Ah, yeah,
So
yeah,
something that he must remember. I'm sure it
for
could have been
sure.
his. I'm not sure if
550.
it could have been his 500th wicket actually. That was
Okay,
Brian
okay,
Lara.
okay.
Yeah. So that's something that you would never forget.
No, we can't.
No. Yeah. So
A double
mm,
celebration almost. You know,
double. Yeah.
you get the big name, and you get the big number.
Yes, for sure. You would never forget that. So other matches going on is the test match. No, oh, sorry, the one day between T20 series tied between India and South Africa because the first one was rained out.
And out.
So
Yeah.
India came back and won. What do you think of the captain, Sarv Kumar? He's 100 in that, 400s already in
He's on a
T20.
nice little roll, right? Nice little roll. So
But when it comes to ODI cricket, he don't have this formula. He gets out easily.
it's I yeah it's hard to say why there's such a big difference between T20 and ODIs. To me it's almost the same, but apparently it's a huge difference now for the players. So it's just
Yeah,
a mindset. Usually it's a mindset. I think a lot of the players seems to be a little more free in the T20 and can be more expressive on how they play. In the ODIs, I think they have to actually play and bat like a professional. And I don't know if the concentration is just not there to do that, or the fun is not that there for them to keep locked in. But it's weird. It is weird.
it is weird. Maybe he's just so free when he has 20 overs, has the freedom to just go and hit the ball.
Exactly.
50, 56 balls, but then they say, listen, it's 50 overs, so you need a bit more time and
Time,
you
yeah. Figure out what you're doing
figure
and
out,
think
yeah,
about the game and how this is going to happen in the next over. T20, don't think about that.
you don't think
You go
about that
score
for
some
sure.
runs.
So teams are now finished with that series and now they go to the ODIs starting
Yeah,
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
First ODI in South Africa. And South Africa didn't show up in that last match, but hopefully they will do better
Hopefully,
in
hopefully.
this upcoming series. And we got to talk a bit about the women because England got a thrashing
Less than
from
3 days, right?
less than 3 days.
Like,
It
wow,
shows that they just did not handle the spinning wickets well, and
they
it was
don't.
I didn't expect that honestly did not expect. And it's the only test, but
Mm.
I didn't expect England to lose, India to win so convincingly
They
by.
destroyed them. It's a total
Yeah,
destruction out there. It's like, what is happening with England? I thought this would have been
mm,
a competitive game.
thought so too, and it was a 347 run victory. But the thing that hit me in the stood out, I must say, for the India batting, they scored 428, but no one had a century. So a
I
bunch
know.
of batters just
60s,
contributed
70s.
60s. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw that. I was like,
Mm.
wow, this is like a
Yeah,
consistent batting from almost everybody that needs to bat.
it was very consistent from everybody. So yeah. So some news and notes on cricket is
Mhm.
Jacqueline Williams, the Jamaican umpire. She
I
became
saw
the
that.
Yeah, she became the first female umpire from the West Indies to stand in a men's T20 international,
That was
reaching a full
awesome.
member. That's
That
good.
was awesome to see. It's a good trend that she's starting here. So kudos to her. She's breaking that glass ceiling, as they call it, and hopefully we can continue to see more of this happen.
Yeah, she's doing well. She was here this summer for our under 19 championship. She was one
Oh,
of the
nice.
umpires.
Good.
Yeah, so pretty good. Happy to see her
Very.
getting ahead. And in other news, Pakistan, New Zealand are up 2-0 in the three-match ODI series against Pakistan. So
Yeah.
nothing surprising there. And Cricket West Indies announced that they have a new data sponsor.
Yeah, I saw that. I guess it's
Yeah,
a good thing. I mean,
it is. Yeah, it's a good thing for them. So
yeah, yeah.
they're doing little things now that people are coming back to West Indies cricket, and especially now that World Cup has been hosted there, you
And
need a
yeah,
good West Indies team for
you need.
all these tournaments.
Yeah, you
Just
got it's at home. I mean, it's good when the home team is strong, so people look forward to going out and watching these games and making a lot of noise and participating. You have the world coming to you, and then your team is poor. Then like it's going to
yeah,
be difficult. It's just going to be about the tourists.
yeah, just the flavor and everything. You just need that.
Yes, you
Any,
do.
not sure if you have anything else on cricket that you want to talk about.
No, that was it about
Um,
cricket for me. I
um,
love the David Warner story when he
yes,
answered when he answered with 164.
and exactly.
Thought it was amusing to say, "Oh, you talk about me? Well, you hold on to this."
That's how it should be. Let the bat do the talking.
There you go.
Yeah, but they're still calling for his head. But
I know.
and especially now that he's failed in the second innings, I'm
You got
sure.
a duck. Yeah, well, that's just one innings. That
That's
happens.
just exactly. He's 164 set up the game, so
Thank you.
that's what you needed.
Yes, yes, yes. No, that was it for me for cricket.
Yeah, so then we can get on to some track and field and what's happening in the world of track, Roger. Do you
A
have
lot
any?
is going on out there. I
Oh,
think the big thing this week, I mean, on Monday, everyone was excited. It's going to be World Athlete of the Year. A
hmm
lot of people lined up with their TV and their camera to see what's going on. And for the first time in 35 years, the award was given to three men
Yeah, I
and
was wondering
three
about
women. It's like, what is going on here?
it.
The fans were not told, the athletes were not told. It was just a shock. I mean, Noah Lyles said, this is very shocking. Nobody knew. So you go to see yourself get an award for the best athletes in the world, and suddenly they say, oh, no, 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 not this year. You're going to have best track athlete, you're going to have best field athlete, you're going to have best out of stadium athlete, which is
Hmm
just absolutely crazy. But on the track, the winners on the female side was Faith Kipyegon from Kenya. Much expected for her to win.
hmm
Noah Lyles won for the track on the men's side. In the field, it was pole vaulter Mondo Duplantis and triple jumper Yulima Rojas. And on the non-stadium accolades, it went to the record holders for the marathon, Kelvin Kiptum
hmm
and Tigis Asifa. But of course, I mean, there's a lot of backlash here. The Kenyan president, they were not happy because it was almost a given that Faith Kipyegon would have won the female
When the
athlete of the year,
premiere, yeah.
almost a given, and now suddenly it felt like it's watered down. So I mean, Sebco came out and said this is his reason. I don't know if you agree with this. You can tell me how you feel about it.
hmm
He said the depth of the talent and the outstanding performances in our sport this year more than justify the expansion of the World Athletics Awards to recognize the accomplishments by these six athletes across a range of disciplines. So, he's saying, oh,
Mhm.
World Athletes of the Year alone have achieved 7 world records between them in 2023, as well as a host of major world titles and major wins. So it's only fitting that they be recognized as the Athletes of the Year in their respective fields. But I don't know what you think
I
about
don't
that.
think
Is
so.
that, is that yeah,
I think it's a cop out. You just don't wanna, you need to name the one person unless you say before that this is
for
what we're doing.
exactly. At
Because
the
it's
last
always
minute, you
been
do this.
yeah, it's always been athlete of the year, and I think they probably had a hard time coming to the decision on the athlete of the year and decided, hey, this is what we're gonna do.
That's going to do to get out of
Yeah,
it. Exactly.
yeah,
It's a cop out.
but
I mean,
it's a cop out, and I think that I initially saw the announcement of Noah Lyles and Faith, but then afterwards I realized there are a couple others.
there
I
are
was like,
more.
yeah,
It's confusing. It's like,
it was very,
what's
yeah,
happening here? I
yeah,
think Michael Johnson said it well. He says, I'm not the only person who thinks having 6 athletes of the year is a bad idea.
it is a bad idea.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I like
anyway,
Rojas. I like all the athletes who are
yeah,
chosen, but
yeah.
you got to choose one as athlete of the
That's
year.
what you're there for,
Mhm.
to see who is the best in the world. I
Yeah.
mean, Noah Lyles, I mean, he only said, this is shocking. That's all he
Mhm.
could say. I asked him how he feels about winning. He says, this is very shocking. So it's sad that they, as you said, they copped out this way. And I don't know. I don't even know if they should apologize to some of these athletes, but it was very confusing. I think it's very unfair for the fans and the athletes themselves not to find out until the awards were given. So I think that was very,
Yes,
very, very inappropriate.
it
But
was.
you know what? It's a dictatorship, I guess, over there. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
But in some other news, it was great news for the Caribbean. So the Caribbean actually swept the Bowerman Award, which is the award for the top athletes, and it was only one on each gender, male and female, in the U.S. NCAA's. And it went to, of course, I think everybody knew it would have gone to her, Julian Alfred. She was indoor and outdoor athlete of the year from St. Lucia, so she was just truly awesome throughout the year and
Alfred,
well
yeah.
well deserving of the Bowerman Awards as the best female athlete in the NCAA's. On the male
Mhm.
side, it was Jaden Hibbert, the young 18-year-old. So, I mean, in Jamaican terms, he could still have participated at Boys and Girls Championships in
Mhm.
Jamaica last year. And he won everything, indoor and outdoor. And he took the title. So at 18, is the first freshman to win the men's honor and becomes the youngest winner overall, male or female. So he's just phenomenal at 18, and kudos to him. A young Jamaican guy, young Saint Lucian lady. Caribbean is making a huge statement. First time it's a Caribbean sweep at the Bowerman, so it's awesome to
Caribbean
see.
sweeper. Yeah.
Really awesome to see. So
I'm happy to see a friend of mine from St. Lucia sent me the article, and the
yeah.
article it confused me a bit at first because it says Jamaica also contributed. So I was
Well,
wondering.
the contribution is because she did high school in Jamaica.
Okay.
So yeah, she went to St. Catherine High, and they got her down to 11.5. But she's the one who took the plunge to leave her country, come to Jamaica to run against the top high schoolers in Jamaica, and she did extremely well. So I mean, some people are going to take credit that it is her foundational. I mean,
Mhm.
for me, whoever sent her is a hero because I mean that's a huge step for a young kid to leave their country to go to another country.
To another
And
yeah.
she was willing to do that, and she was willing to work hard when she was in Jamaica. She did extremely well there. She didn't win; she was always second or whatever, but she was very, very competitive. And look at her now. So,
Yeah.
they put in the Jamaican part of it. And yes, she did spend a few years in Jamaica in their high school years. And the foundation, yes, maybe the foundation was laid in terms of how good she is now, but I'm not sure. I knew she had a lot of talent coming in, and she did the right thing for her career.
Yeah, she did. And
So,
looking forward to better things from her. And it's an Olympic year next year.
yes,
It's going to be very competitive.
it is going to be extremely competitive. She got Dina Asher Smith in her camp now, so someone to compete with her in training
Hmm.
to push her. And I honestly don't would not be surprised if she found a way to get a medal in the Olympics. I mean, she was fifth in the 100 and fourth in the 200 at Worlds this year, and after a long season or a fairly long season. So let's see what she does next year. If she's prepped at the right time, you just never know. She's going to be in the mix. I don't know if she'd be
Yes.
able to beat those top names, but never say never with Julian. She's very, very determined. I can tell you, Ingle, very determined young
Yeah, she
lady,
is.
and she's not afraid to work hard. So she's
Great.
gonna she's really reap the rewards. Meanwhile, Jaden is saying, he has a lot more to learn. Of course, he's only 18, and I mean, he got injured. He was a big favorite going into the finals, and got injured in Budapest. And he said it's fueling his Olympics gold ambition. So he's ready to win
Mm,
gold in Paris next year at 19. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can actually do it. But a fantastic young man. So these two, Julian and Jaden, are just great. Great for the sport, great for the Caribbean. And I'm really happy for both of them.
good.
Let's talk a little bit about our favorite lady, Shakari Richards.
Uh, yeah.
So she's piping up in the media again, and I mean, justifiably so. So USA anti-doping agency came up with a new rule, and they changed how
Mhm.
you do your whereabouts rule, and they implemented a new platform. But they
Mhm.
implemented it like a couple of weeks ago, and they said it must be completed by December 15th, and if you don't finish it by December 15th, it's going to be flagged
Mhm.
as a failure, like as a mistest. It's like,
Right.
what is she's right, You can't just throw these changes upon us and you don't even explain what these changes are, and then give me like 2 weeks to say put it in or not, are you going to
It's
be
in
a
there.
failed test, So she's quite right this time. It says you need to focus on the athletes,
One of them seemed very harsh to me, which is a 60-minute time slot for each day where they'll be available.
It's it is and it isn't. So my advice to these athletes has always been
Mm,
put it at a time where you will be at home
mm.
or should be at home. So a
Or,
lot of times it's
or
like
maybe a training even.
you see the training thing moves around, right? Sometimes there
Oh,
are
okay.
different spots, right? So sometimes that can be problematic. But put it 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. In
6
general,
a.m. Yeah.
put it early in the morning. I mean, I know the Jamaican guys go to training at 5 in the morning, so maybe they put it at a different time. But put it 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. You should be at home at 7 in the morning.
Yeah, it should be early because I mean you can go to training and think you're gonna go straight back home and
And
something
you
happens.
don't. There you
Yeah.
go. Right. So put it
Yeah.
first thing in the morning, and you have a much, much better chance of not missing it. And now you know when you have told them. So let's put it first thing in the morning. So hopefully everybody adheres to that, and we have no more of these whereabouts misses because it's damaging to their career. Whenever, even
Yeah.
if it's only one, people are saying, "Oh, they're hiding something," when there's usually just simple explanation for it.
Hmm.
But kudos to Shakari. She's speaking up now. She's become a leader, Ingle, a leader.
She has become, yeah, she has. She's maturing.
I know, which is also great to see.
Yeah.
Quickly, we'll talk about IOC. So the IOC, International Olympic Committee, they're
Yeah.
defending their decision to allow athletes from Russia and Belarus
And
to
Belarus. Yeah.
compete as neutrals at the 2024 Games. So he's saying individual athletes cannot be punished for the action of their government. But I mean, the funny thing is, right, he's doing it for them, but Putin is not happy. He accused the IOC of endangering the Olympic movement by imposing these rules on them. But the Ukraine is saying, of course, you're encouraging war.
Right.
So you have the Russia saying one thing, and they're both negative to the IOC.
At one
And of
point, Ukraine was saying they would not
they will
attend
not
the game.
attend the game. So that's
Yeah.
they hold that. It's that to be a big call. They were trying to get support for it, but they haven't. They haven't. And since it's not like it's Russia coming, it's neutral athletes. I think that sort of waters it down as well.
Yeah.
Although Seb Coe for the track and field portion, that says he's not going to allow the neutral athletes into track and field.
Mm,
So it's an
yes.
interesting call. So I mean, the Olympics is not too far away. English, it's July next year.
July.
So
Yeah.
you know what? They need to figure out what they're doing here, and they can't make everybody happy. But I think they just need to call the rules, which I think they're trying to do now, and let everybody know this is what is going to happen. But a lot of people are not happy with how this has been handled in the first place. So
Yeah. And even Putin is saying that he's not sure he's going to send his athletes.
that's
So,
what he's saying. Yeah, I don't
yeah.
know if
So
he's gonna. I'm a little surprised he's
he's,
saying that because
yeah.
he's a sports guy. Yeah, he loves his
He
sports.
does. Yeah. I guess because they can't go as Russia,
Uh,
that's why he's probably saying that.
it's a big thing for him. He's a very
Yeah.
proud Russian. So,
Mm,
and a couple other things. Josh Carr, who defeated Jakob Ingebrigtsen last year in the 1500 finals, I don't know why he's attacking Ingebrigtsen, but he's saying he has major weaknesses in his tactics and he has all yes men around him. And if he doesn't realize that he's got some, then he's going to have some real major problems next year to win the
mm,
gold medal. So, you know, it's always good for the sports when you have two people bantering, but Jakob has decided not to respond. I mean, they actually show him having pictures with his new wife enjoying their holidays. So I don't know, but yeah, Josh Carr from England is going after him because I
yeah.
think Ingebrigtsen is, yeah, he's cocky, and I agree with that. And he's a major player in the sport. And I think Juskar won, and it's like it's still about Ingebrigtsen. So I guess he just wanted to make his name that, listen, man, I won this race.
Hmm.
So he's saying Ingebrigtsen surrounded himself with yes men, and he has major weaknesses in his tactics. And if he doesn't fix that, he's going to lose again next year. So let's see if Ingebrigtsen actually responds on the track, where I think is where the response should be. But it would be nice to see them having a conversation. So hype up the sport a bit. So let's see how that one goes.
He's doing a lot of talking because he was even not happy with that he was not on the short list for
Yeah,
the
I I,
BBC
I
sports
didn't get
person. Yeah,
I didn't get that one because that was a major. He didn't do a
yeah,
lot except win that race, but it was
win
a major victory. So
it's a big victory. Yeah,
he should have even made a short list. He
yeah.
should have made a short list there. So, and the last one on track and field, I think it's high school students are saying they should not be using guns to start races. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, it's a very good conversation here. So they're saying that the gunshots can be traumatizing, and I think it
Yeah.
happened though because
It's,
on the campus, I think there was actually a deadly shooting on a campus. So just hearing a gunshot, I think for these athletes from that school, that specific school, is traumatizing for them.
yeah, but I don't know. It's been going forever. Like,
This is the gold
it's,
standard. So I think
yeah, it's a goal. Yeah.
I think they have to figure out. I mean, like anything else, sometimes these are the things that causes innovation to happen.
Hmm.
So let's see if it does
How
that.
would
It'll be interesting to see what it would go to.
how would they do the starting then?
Yeah, so I know that sometimes I think they have electronic guns that
Oh, okay.
it's not a gunshot. But a lot of times the athletes don't hear it, and it depends on technology, and
Hmm.
it fails more often than it should. So I don't know.
I don't know about that. I mean, tradition. I don't know. There's so many different things now that, as we keep saying, the world is evolving,
It is, and
so
a
everything
lot of
changes.
innovation is happening.
Yeah,
So who knows? They'll come up
yeah,
with something, but
yeah.
I'd be curious to see what they could come up with.
Me too. I'll be curious because I'm just know it's a traditional gunshot for
Yeah,
forever, and
that's how you know it's the race is off.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
oh boy, but that's it for track and field. I'm not sure if you had anything else on that.
No, that's it. Yeah, that's it for me for track and field as well. So if you
All right.
wanna get into some
Yeah,
soccer,
we could do some quick soccer, and
quick,
Canada's names Stephen Estachio and
mhm.
Jesse Fleming as soccer players of the year. So Jesse has been phenomenal. I think it's 3 years in a row now for her. It's Estachio's first time because, of course, Antonio Davies was always winning for the last 3 years. But
Yeah.
yeah, Estachio's come on really well, playing in Portugal there, and he's done well. Jesse Fleming has always done well for Canada, and a lot of
Hmm.
people feel that she's going to replace Christine Sinclair as a superstar for the Canadian soccer team. So let's see if she can live up to that name. But for sure, she has won 3 years in a row. So let's see what she does.
And coincidentally, both are midfielders.
Both are midfielders, yeah, attacking
Yeah, so
midfielders. So
exactly, yeah.
it's good. It's good. I love the midfield position, so it's good to see this for me. But another thing that I think I was a little concerned of, because John Herdman is a really good coach in my opinion, and he was the coach that took the men's soccer team to the World Cup, and admits he should not have gone to the World Cup,
Mm.
as in the month of May, his sister, who he's very close to, and I think she looks up to, committed suicide, and he
Wow.
was just not dealing with it the way he wanted to, and he was very uncomfortable going. He said because he was still struggling with his sister committing suicide. But then he made a comment about, on top of that, the team, after they qualified, went from being we to become all about me. And he thinks that also affected their performances. So I was a little surprised at that because I really didn't see. I didn't see that. They just got beaten, I think, because they just didn't score in the World Cup. But they did play well.
That's
so,
right.
so I'm a little confused when I made that. And I think Estacio Sada responded to it by saying he didn't see it either. It's just that they lost 2 games and they were out, so they struggled in the last game because it's like they were playing for nothing. So maybe that game, but I mean in general, that wasn't the attitude, and I didn't really see the attitude either when they went to the World Cup. So I don't know. I don't know where that one came from.
It is, yeah.
But on top of that, over still keeping it in North America, the Columbus Crew defeated LA Football Club 2-1 to take the MLS Cup last weekend. So this dominance that everyone said the LAFC is going to have,
LA was gonna have. I thought
uh,
so.
yeah, it's not happening. The Columbus Crew beat them, so MLS Cup is done. So we will see what happens next year. But for now, MLS goes to Columbus Crew.
Columbus Crew. Wow. I guess the LA fans will figure out we're gonna come back next year as usual.
Yeah, we'll see next year. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes for sure. John, ready or
John is not joining us today, unfortunately,
he
because
won't?
of
Okay,
technical
issues.
problems.
Okay,
Yeah, he
so I
won't be
can
able to make
continue
it.
then. So let's get into the English Premier League.
Mhm.
Because of course, I think they're gonna fire Ten Hag from Man. Anyway, let's not
Remind
talk
you,
about. Let's see how he goes today. But I mean, tomorrow is a big game. Man U will take on top of the table Liverpool, who's I'm still in shock that Liverpool is top of the table. But
yeah. So
Man U versus Liverpool tomorrow. Who do you like there?
honestly, I am not a big Man U fan, but I like Man U to win this game tomorrow.
I
But
think they're gonna surprise some
yeah,
people. Of course, Liverpool beat them at 7-1 last year or something like that. So they're saying
seven,
it's gonna
yeah,
be
yeah.
something like that again tomorrow. But I don't know. I
I
don't
don't
know.
think it will be that bad. But
I don't think so either.
sometimes teams just keep losing until they change coaches, so you don't know our managers. So man, you
That,
never know.
that's what I'm saying. I think they're gonna get rid of him
The-
because for some
yeah.
reason, everywhere they're just on this losing streak. And I mean, they lost in midweek to Bayern Munich in the Champions League, and they're
Yes.
totally out now.
Well,
And
Talbot. Yeah.
they got beaten 3-0, I think, by Bournemouth last week. So I was like, I don't know what's going on with them. And it's my team, so of course I'm going to defend them to the end. But I mean, right now they're just on a little skid, and I'm really hopeful that they figured a way how to stop that skid, and hopefully they can stop it against Liverpool. But when you look at the top of the table, though, I mean, as I said, it's
It's
shocking to see them at the
Liverpool,
top. But
Man City.
Arsenal, Arsenal, right there.
Hmm.
Arsenal is right there. But I mean, the surprise for a lot of people is Aston Villa.
Aston Villa is the biggest surprise for me. It's a name
Yeah,
that we haven't seen in the top
being
five for a long time.
for years. I think the last
Yeah.
one is in 1981. So it's like, they're
Yeah.
coming out of left field for sure. But I mean, yeah, I'm happy that the young Jamaican Leon Bailey, who plays for them, is having a really good year. He scored against Man City. He's been scoring goals. He's been instrumental in some of these victories. So happy for him. Kudos for him. And just for him, I hope that they can go far. But I mean, right now they're looking as if they're going to be top four this year for sure. I think they haven't lost at home yet. So I mean, they're still on this nice little roll. So Aston Villa, I mean, one of the surprise teams to look out for, but City's faltering, and I think that's a huge surprise for a lot of people because everyone always believes that Manchester City is gonna be the top team and they're gonna do something special every year. But I don't know. Aston Villa beat them. They're now fourth in the tables, and I don't know if they're even gonna win this weekend again. So it's gonna be interesting to see. But everyone is talking about your team and middle of the table team apparently.
Middle of the table, yeah, it's just not good. Now Chelsea just don't look like a team this year. They've got some good players, but it's just not putting it together. Every time they look like they're gonna bounce back, they just lose a
They
game.
lose again, and I mean
Yeah,
their coach Pochettino is saying, yeah, you know what, you can't write us off, and we're gonna this, and we're gonna bounce back, and it's a great team, and a lot of blah 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 blah. But right now, it's not being shown on the pitch where it needs to be shown. We don't expect Chelsea to remain at number 12.
no, don't expect that, but you never know
Never
if
know.
they will.
This
So
may be the year that they will stay in the middle of the pack.
in the
Who
middle of
knows?
the pack, yeah.
Who knows?
Couple of things on the women's side before we get out of it, unless you have something else with the men.
Well, that's what before we get to Rebecca
Mhm,
Welsh, just like how we
mhm,
talked about with the Miss Williams in cricket, Rebecca
mhm.
Welsh is to become the first female Premier League referee.
Oh wow.
So we have a female umpire starting it off in
Yeah,
cricket, and now we have a female referee in the Premier Legue for the first time. So kudos. I mean, the world is changing for the better. So it's awesome to see young Rebecca Welsh on the pitch as a
hmm,
Premier League referee in the next couple of weeks. It's not right now, but I think it's been named that she will be the first female Premier League referee. So kudos to her, I must say. And the last one
yeah.
I had was about in Turkey. Not sure if you saw what happened there,
Yes, I saw some issues in Turkey. Yeah,
where the president of the
it's been
football club Farouk Koka, he went out there and he knocked out the referee. I
Yeah,
mean, I I mean, it's like, what is happening here? This guy, yeah, he just stepped out and knocked him out. Like,
it's
if
crazy.
you look at the referee's eye, it was funny to look at it.
Yeah,
Big, blown up, black and white, knocked out.
actually, there's a picture of the punch actually,
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly.
which is really
Like,
crazy.
that's absolutely crazy. But he's been given a permanent ban, so he's paying for it long term,
Mhm.
permanent ban.
Permanent.
So
Wow.
for that attack, so it's crazy stuff, absolutely crazy stuff. I don't know how the president got himself in that situation, but
Involved in something like that, yes.
absolutely wrong. Absolutely. But yeah, that was it for me for soccer. What do you have?
Just two quick things. Lauren James, Chelsea forward, she's been having a lot of issues because she appeared to have stepped on a player's foot, and I mean, okay, fine, but she's getting a lot of abuse and racist
Yeah,
abuse online, and I think those things need to go away and be stopped.
it
I
has to go
mean,
away. Well,
yeah,
I mean,
she's a
young
young
lady.
player,
Yeah,
yeah, and she goes through so much other than the other players when they do something. She seemed to be always targeted.
she
So,
is. It's
um,
unfortunate to see this happen because very talented, and I don't think what she did was intentional or anything like that. It just happened. It's part of the sport, and they're making her pay for it every day.
every day, yeah, it's so bad, and social media can be so disgusting. Can just
Most
mentally can break it down. So it's not very good.
just don't read it, is what I'd say.
Yeah,
You
you
can't
know,
avoid it because you will hear, but
that's
yeah,
yeah,
minimize it as much. Let someone tell you some of the things that, but don't read it
yeah.
yourself because looking at it yourself can be very depressing.
When I played, I never read the newspapers or the right
Yeah,
articles written. People would tell me, as you said, I just didn't care. I'm glad there
yeah.
was no social media.
Can you imagine if you had social media at that time
Yeah,
and you had a bad
it,
game and
yeah, I
people
just
call you
didn't.
names and it's
Yeah,
just ridiculous. I say
yeah.
absolutely ridiculous.
But finally, Tottenham's Hotspurs they beat upset Arsenal women, so
I
one
saw that.
nothing. So
Saw that.
Chelsea has a chance of going to the top. They've got at the table. They're tied right now,
Yeah.
and Arsenal lost their chance. So Chelsea will play. I think they play tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
Yeah.
They
So
have a
they're
good
going to
team. I
go.
don't think, well, as I said, they got to cheer for the women now, not for the men. But yeah, the
Yeah.
Chelsea women are very solid. I think that Canadian Khadija Buchanan plays for them there.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good team. It's a good team.
It's a good team. But unfortunately, we've run out of time. Thanks for being with us again for another weekend. Thanks for listening to the Roger and Ingle Sports Hour on Love Day Afrobeats Music Talk Radio. It's been a pleasure being with you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and stay safe.
Enjoy, everyone. See you next year.